Good after. Let me start over.
Throw that
in. Good morning, everybody. It's Sports Talk with the Sun-Gazette's Chris Masse, Evan Wheaton here with me. If you want to be a sponsor, call 326-1551. We'd love to have you as a sponsor. We're taking all comers, so get on board. It'd be a lot of fun. Speaking of fun, it's been a fun football season.
Yes, it has.
Here at the Sun-Gazette. You've only been here 1 year. I've been here for 23 seasons now.
Haven't even been a year.
Yeah, never before had we had two teams in the Final Four. You come and boom,
all of a sudden our teams start winning.
We've got greatness. So obviously Jersey Shore, Canton, Jersey Shore playing in the Class 4A semifinals, Canton in the 1A. It's pretty exciting. Both combined 27-0, both undefeated. For your first year here, how fun has it been to be a part of this?
Oh, it's been awesome. I mean, all the storylines going forward. I've been to a few Jersey Shore games, and knowing that they were like right there in that state final last year, and it came down to the wire, and for them to be putting on this show to get back to the big stage, it's pretty cool to sort of chronicle that.
Yeah. We'll look at the 4A game in Jersey Shore first here. Like Evan said, they were in the state final last year. This is their third straight trip to the Final Four. That's another first in area history. Nobody's ever done that before. It's a remarkable transformation from a program that was 28-139 from 2000 through 2012 to now being a perennial state powerhouse, as I just spit over there. So I got to watch that here, especially in a pandemic. But I'm so excited about the football. But yeah, Jersey Shore, a lot of people doubted they could get back to this point. They only have 4 starters back from last year, and here they are again. And you've had a chance to see them 3 times. I've seen them a lot now. What have you thought watching them play this season?
I mean, their offense, Brady Jordan has so much. I put my hands in this, but Brady
Jordan breaking all the protocols.
The weapons that Brady Jordan has around him is just, Cooper Peacock, Caden Hess, Hayden Packer. He just has a really, really good arsenal around him. So, yeah, with the starters being gone, I think, they're sort of having those same expectations and meeting them. And I think that's been pretty impressive. And defensively, after that 9-7 win over Selinsgrove to come back later, and what was it, like 41-0 to shut out. 41 points against Selinsgrove. That's pretty remarkable. Selinsgrove's defense, I thought it was going to be very low scoring, and
I did too.
That's just one example. I think the defense has really come into its own. So.
Yeah, their motto there is tradition never graduates, and I wrote a column saying that they live that because they've now won 4 straight district titles in 6 and 9 years, and this is just about every year. It seems they're replacing at least half their starters, and this train just keeps moving forward and collecting steam. So the names change, but the results don't. And this is another example of that. And like you said, they Selinsgrove had been playing great defense all season. They've been slowing teams down, and I think that game, as well as these last 2 state tournament wins, shows why they've been so successful over the years, because they repeatedly get better as the season goes on. They peak at the right time. They're doing it again this year. And they're just so entertaining to watch.
And I think the one other thing that I would say about Jersey Shore is, Gravish and the off-season workouts. They really fill those roles in the off-season, and they come in knowing what they need to do. And, it really is impressive to see how much they have to step up in the next class when they graduate, large classes.
Yeah, and I guess they play Aliquippa. I failed to mention that. Aliquippa is a District 7, or as they call it, the Whippeal. They've been a powerhouse there for a long time. They've won 18 district titles. They won the state title in 2018 as a 3A team. This will be the biggest team Jersey Shore's seen. Their line is massive. They've got about 4 300-pounders. They've got 3 guy that's 365, guy that's 345. So it's going to be a tall order. But what I've learned about Jersey Shore is to never count them out. That they seem to thrive on challenges like these. So this is their biggest one yet. But it's going to be an interesting battle. What are your thoughts going into this game and what they have to do to be successful?
Yeah, Aliquippa definitely has the size, especially on that line. I think they just need to keep doing what they're doing. Brady Jordan needs to rely on those around him on offense. The defense needs to keep doing what they're doing. I mean, they've been pretty consistent all year. They find ways to win those close games, like early in the season, the OT against Montoursville.
Yeah.
I think they just need to don't stray from their identity and who they are, and they just need to stay consistent.
Yeah, and now I've never seen Aliquippa, obviously, but what I would tend to think is when you have guys that big, I wonder if they could tire easily. And obviously Jersey Shore is going to try to push the tempo with their rocket style, no-huddle offense. I think if Jersey Shore can sustain drives and keep these kids on the field, to keep these big kids on the field for long stretches, that's their best bet, I think, to try to wear these guys out. And obviously that's what they're going to do. Like you said, this is who they are. They're a fast-paced team, and I think that's key. If they can dictate the tempo, then I think that gives them a pretty good shot here.
They've been doing that all season with the tempo. We're talking about an offense that has over 90 plays of offensive snaps per game. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous. So, if they keep doing that, they might wear them out because they're not a team that gets tired after 4 quarters.
No, that's the thing. I mean, these kids are literal bulldogs. They're tough as nails. They never tire. That's kind of what's fun. That's what the most fun about watching them. Their fans are great. And I guess that's a good segue into Canton, because I think Canton and Jersey Shore, it's kind of fitting that these are the 2 last teams in our area standing, because I think they're mirror images in terms of toughness, in terms of conditioning. Canton, they're warriors, and that's their name. That's who they are. They are a physical team that doesn't back down from any challenge, passionate fan base, kids that never tire, and this will be your first time seeing them, but I think you'll like what you see from them. And what are you most excited about as they get ready to play Bishop Guilfoyle?
I'm excited to see their defense. Going back on defensive talk, they had a huge defensive showing against Old Forge. They forced 6 turnovers. 5 of those were in the air with 5 different players that got interceptions. Yeah. They've only allowed 2 different teams this year to get 20 points on them, 20-plus points, I believe. This is a defense that's able to go toe-to-toe with top-ranked offenses, and they have never won a state playoff game before this year. Now all of a sudden they have 2.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see if they can sort of channel that hype and just settle back in and get another win and sort of make that trip to Hershey Park and try and go all the way.
Yeah. And what I like about Canton is they overpowered everybody in the regular season. They literally never were behind in a game, and it stayed that way in the district final. They clobbered Muncie, who's a great team. But what I like is that they were behind against Steel High, the defending state champion in the first round of states, and that Old Forge was undefeated and ranked number 1 in the state, and they were behind 14-0 with 7 minutes to go, and they came back to win that. So it's a team that's shown they can win under tough circumstances, and it's a team that believes it can overcome anything. And the Old Forge game really drilled that home, because they were getting handled pretty well for 3.5 quarters, and they hung in there. The defense kept them in it, and then they took over in the last 8 minutes. So I think that's big going into this game, that they know that they can overcome adversity and come back to win games.
They're not going to sort of fold under pressure, to be held to that deficit through those 3 quarters there, and to make that late comeback and have never come this far. I mean, that's not being able to sort of lose yourself in the moment in those big moments. I think that's pretty good sign for them.
Yep. And it's ridiculous that they have to play at Mansion Park, which is Bishop Guilfoyle's home field. I could go off on the PIAA.
I have to drive there.
Yeah, that's the biggest crime. And how stupid this location system is that they have for football. But I'm not going to get into that. We don't have enough time for me to go off on that. What I will say is I think Canton has at least 3 fan buses going already. So this might be at Bishop Guilfoyle's home field, but I think it might feel like a Canton game ultimately, because this whole community's caught up in this, and they love the team, and it's the same way with Jersey Shore. and Jersey Shore had to go 2.5 hours to play Allentown Central Catholic. That felt like a home game for them. So both teams have passionate home fans following them. So that's going to be exciting. It's an exciting time for Canton. And Bishop Guilfoyle, it's a team that won 3 straight state titles from 2014 to 16. They have a great tradition. That was my cue that we're supposed to be almost over soon. But I'll wrap it up with, Guilfoyle's won 3 state titles. It's a team, they've overcome some adversity. They were 6-4 in the regular season. They've caught fire here in the postseason. So I think it'll be an exciting game. I know you've been looking into it. So what are your expectations going into it?
Well, expectations, going back onto what you were saying about the 3 fan buses, I mean, I think that people in the area know that this is arguably the best season that this team's ever had in program history, and you were able to say that 2 weeks ago.
Absolutely.
And add to that last week. And I think people know that, and I think, outside of what's happening on the field in the stands, I think, that's what's going to have good representation there with fans. As far as the game, it's going to be interesting. Canton's never been here. They don't lose sight of themselves and all the pressure and the big moments. Mm-hmm. So I think it's going to be a game. These are 2 Final Four teams, so who knows how it's going to go. It's going to be pretty awesome to see.
Yeah, it's definitely an exciting time for the Sun-Gazette. We got winter sports starting next week. We're still doing fall sports. It's a crazy time, but you'll never catch me complaining about it. This has been a blast covering these teams, and I would love to be in Hershey next Thursday. Canton and Jersey Shore, the single A and 4A championships are on the same day, Thursday. It would be pretty exciting to see 2 area teams playing on the same day. We'll see what happens. It's been a great year regardless. And, I wanted to mention Tom Brady's greatness before we leave.
Let's talk about that.
But I don't think there's enough video on the day for it. But Evan's an educated man. He knows how amazing Tom Brady is.
Mm-hmm. I hear Mac Jones is pretty good, too.
He is pretty good. He's got some big shoes to fill, but he's doing a pretty good job so far. But, yeah, the GOAT, in addition to being the best quarterback ever, he's just a damn fine American. So, a lot to be excited about there, along with Jersey Shore and Canton.
Should do this more often.
Absolutely. So, all right. Well, I think that's all. Again, if you want to sponsor us, we would love to have a sponsor. So appreciate anybody reaching out to us. And for Evan Wheaton, I'm Chris Masse, and have fun at the games, and we'll see you next week.